I'll give it a try. And the second crush is Lucas Bloomquist. Bloomquist. We have other things. Be creative. Hello, and welcome to my booktube channel. I can't believe I'm finally saying this, but I'm Almar. I usually yap about books to my non-reader friends, but I think this is better because here people will willingly want to listen to me yap. I don't have to force anyone, um, I guess. And what better way to start a booktube channel halfway through the year than with a book tag? It's already July now, and this way I'll get to talk about all the books that I've read and that have made an impact. The mid-year freakout tag has been going around for a while now. I think it's a very old tag. It's basically a series of questions about the books that I've read, and let's get started. The first book tag is best book this year so far. Um, the only best book that comes to my mind is Every Spiral of Fate, and it has not come out yet, but, but, but I have full faith that it is going to be the best book this year to me. It is going to blow my mind. It has already blown my mind, and it is going to blow my mind again. You don't know me yet, but you'll know me when I make a video when this book comes out, and you will know that I'm insane about that series. So be ready for the tag. The first book that comes to my mind is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillig. It is from the duology called Shepherd King duology, and the only reason I started this book was because of this quote that I saw in a reel, and I'll put that quote over here so you can also read it and know why exactly I started the book. It was really fresh, and by fresh, what I mean is the fantasy books that have been coming out lately are really boring. I mean, I don't know if it's me or I've struck an unfortunate luck of picking all the similar fantasy books, but all the books that I've read are so trope focused. I don't think I'm the only one with this opinion, but they really do put all the focus on the tropes and not in the actual story. And even if there is a story, it's not really unique. It's all about shadow daddies. I don't even like saying that word. Don't get me wrong, I love certain tropes, but I also like plot. I like reading good books with good plot. Where are those books? So when I say this book is fresh, I mean it. The world is so unique. Um, this world is called Blunder, and people get their magical abilities from cards. And these cards are called Providence cards, and they are very limited, and only few people have them. And some are even banned. And these cards have abilities like beautifying oneself or enhancing your strength, abilities like that. And if you happen to have those cards and use them for a long period of time, there are side effects. And for example, if you're using the beautifying yourself card, I don't remember the name of that card, but if you're using that card for too long, then you will lose all your emotions. You'll stop feeling any emotions. Your heart will turn cold, and you will stop feeling anything at all. um, and there are other side effects for all the other cards. um, but there are also people who are cursed in this world. And these cursed people, they don't need cards to have those magical abilities. They already have them in their blood. And um, but their side effects are more severe. If they use those magical abilities for a long period of time, they'll die faster. So the whole purpose of this book, the whole premise of this book is to find the a cure of that for that curse and stop it from spreading in this world. Our main girl Elspeth is also cursed, and she has this ability where if she touches a card, she will absorb its power. And when she was small, she did not know that she had this power. So she accidentally touches a card that's called Misery, in which it is also called a nightmare card, where the nightmare card's purpose is if you touch that card, you will be able to read other people's mind. And Elspeth touches this card and she absorbs the nightmare, and now it lives in her head. And now she's constantly fighting to keep her mind under her control and not nightmares. Because if she keeps using the nightmare's powers, if she keeps letting him help her, she will yield her mind to him. She will no longer be able to have control of her mind. Yeah. I found the premise really fascinating and really unique, and the writing was also very unique. The way she writes it, wow, I highly recommend it. You should read it. The next book under the best book so far is 7 Years Slip by Ashley Poston. This was my first book by her, and I have read her Cinderella book and Greekella, and it was 3 or 4 years ago. I don't remember, but this is a adult fantasy, adult romance book, and all her books have magical realism in it. And this was so good, so good. I get the hype now. I went in thinking that this was going to be a cute rom com, but it hit me. It hit me, and I am a fan now. I will read all the books that she writes. No questions asked. Her Her books are like emotional food, cozy, whimsical, and uh, with a little bit of magic in all of her books. And this also had magic in it. So our main girl inherits her dead aunt's apartment, and this apartment is not like a normal apartment. This apartment, sometimes it's in present and sometimes it's 7 years back, or sometimes it's 7 years in future. One day she comes home and finds a man in her apartment from 7 years ago. Imagine, 7 years ago. And how do you think they meet in the present time? You have no clue. Yeah. Imagine the angst. Imagine the weight. Imagine, oh my god. And it was done so well. It made me feel stuff, and I loved it. I love when books make me feel things and make me cry. So it was one of the best book that I've read so far this year, and I rated it 5 stars. It deserves 5 stars. Also, Ashley Poston's characters. I have read her reviews, and there are a lot of mixed opinions about her books. I get it. People think that her characters fall in love instantly, and yeah, but with the way it's written, with the premise of with the way the how the plot is going, it makes sense why they have fallen in love. It does make sense, and I never found an insta lovey. I hate insta love romance books, and I have always DNF'd them. But all of Ashley Boston's book, I've read all of them, and I never found an insta lovey. So everyone has their own opinion, and My opinion is that her books are great and they're worth the read. So, okay, so the next tag is the best sequel that I've read so far, and it's obviously Two Twisted Crowns because I'm not over this duology. You know, when the first book is so good that the second book does not live up to its expectations, that was me when I was reading when I started the second book. And it did live up to its expectations. It was so much better than my expectations. I loved it. The stakes were so much higher and the pacing was so much tighter. I didn't think that Rachel Gillig could top the atmosphere of the book one, but she did. And what I love the most about this is that it didn't just continue with the story, it expanded it. Like, we got new POVs, which I was nervous about. I didn't think it was necessary, but now I can't imagine the story without them. It was a flawless sequel, and it is a must read. I recommend it. The next sequel is Emily Weil's Compendium of Lost Tales by Heather Fawcett. This is the third book in Emily Weil's Encyclopedia of Fairies, which I loved. It's a cozy academic fantasy book. It gives very cozy fantasy vibes, and I love cozy fantasy books that has um, small town setting, and it has small town setting, and the sequel had everything that I wanted. It's about this socially awkward professor, um, Emily, and this book is actually her journal about her research, where she goes to these um, faraway villages to research about fairies. And in the first book, she goes to this village called Ravenspeak, and um, she is extremely awkward in social situations. She makes everyone hate her the moment she meets someone, and she makes the whole village hate her. And our main guy comes to her rescue, Wendell, and she hates him because she doesn't really like his research style. But he comes and he saves her. He charms everyone in the village, and everyone loves them now because of Wendell. These books follow their adventure around uh, fairy realms and different villages that has fairy. The fairies in this book are different. They are not like Sarah J. Maas fairies. They are like from Cruel Prince or from Shadow Hunters. These fairies are similar to those fairies. This book is for you if you want a cozy fantasy, if you want to curl up and read a good book in a weather like this. It's raining right now. In a rainy weather, sipping some matcha or tea or coffee and read a cozy fantasy, you should read this book. The third tag is new releases that you haven't read but you want to. When I wrote my notes, I had written Sounds Like Love by Ashley Poston, but I've already read that book. These notes were written a few weeks ago, and I have read quite a few books since then. So the second book is Say You'll Remember Me by Abby Jimenez. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. I'm really sorry. But yeah, that is a second book. I have read quite a few Abby Jimenez books, and I like her books. My one of my favorite books of all time is Yours Truly, and that's by her. She always manages to include very serious topics in her books. You might think by the covers of all the books that they are cute rom com books, but they are not. They have very, very serious topics in them, and she manages to weave it really well with the rom com theme. Um, and I love that in her books. So I have read two, three, or four of her books now, and um, I I don't think, and I think I only like her recent releases. I've not read her old books, and I don't think they are my style, so I won't be reading them, but I'll read her new books. And she has released this new one called Say You'll Remember Me. I think it was released on May or June. Oh, wait. This book is also a book of the month for a book club. I have a book club. It is a small club with two more members at one May, like three members in total. Our book club's name is Broken Hearts Squadron, and July's book of the month is Say You'll Remember Me. So I'll be reading it this month only. I don't know if this is my type of a book, but it's Abby Eminis, so I trust her. I have seen quite a lot of bad reviews of this book, and I'll give it a try. Yeah. The next tag is most anticipated releases for the second half of the year. Of course, it's every Spiral of Fate that's coming out in September. I I can't wait. Can't wait for this book. Uh, I've been waiting for 2 years now. It's been 2 years already. Since the third book came out in this Woven Kingdom series, and uh, if you don't know, this book is the fourth book in this Woven Kingdom series, and by Tahereh Mafi. And it's set in Persian-inspired world with jinns and humans in it, where a servant girl named Aliza is hiding her identity in, and she is now acting as a servant. And I mean, it's already in the summary, but so it's not a spoiler. So I just say that she is the queen, the secret queen of the jinns, and Kamran, the current heir to the king of that country, Adunia, he suspects that she is a spy. So he digs into her, and that digging causes a whole lot of trouble. And now Aliza is forced to come out of hiding, and so good. It's so good. It's really worth the read. You should read it. Everyone should read it. Also, I have no idea why this book is so underrated. Tahira Mafi's book, Shatter Me, it's so hyped, and I mean, yeah, it's a good book, but the writing is so much better than Shatter Me. She really improves with this one. The you will When you start reading this book, this Woman Kingdom, you will not even realize that it's by the same author. The writing is so different, and there's political intrigue. The world building is fantastic. The characters are amazing. Aliza is my all-time favorite character, and as much as it pains me not to talk about Cyrus, only it's a spoiler, so I'm only going to mention that Cyrus will be a huge part of the story, and he's also my favorite. He's also one of my favorite characters in this book, and he is the enemy of the country that Aliza is living right now. He is the king of their enemy country. Yeah, that's the book. I am going to be insufferable that month. I'm going to be insufferable when it releases, and be ready for it. The next book in the tag is Good Spirits by B.K. Borison. I have read two or three of her books this year, and I've enjoyed all of them. I trust her to deliver again. And I think this book is going to be released on October. So this time for this book. Also, I haven't really checked what this book is about. Actually, I just added it without looking at the summary. I trust her. So, and the next book in the stack is The Jasad Crown by Sarah Hashim. This is a sequel to The Jasad Air by Sarah Hashim. I read it on 2023, 2024. I don't really remember. It was long back, and I don't actually remember the plot of the book, but I really liked it. So there's this lost kingdom called Jasad, and it's wiped out of its map after the rebellion, and the people that practice its magic are executed. So our main girl Sylvia is hiding, and when she accidentally reveals her magic guy Aaron, to this guy Aaron, our main guy, she falls into trouble. Oh, and from what I remember, this has enemies to lovers, like really intense enemies to lovers. They hate each other's gut in the beginning, and from the reviews that I've seen so far of the second book, it is going to be torture. Someone even said that the ending of this book, is similar to the ending of Clockwork Princess, and I am scared. Am I ready? No. But am I going to read it? Yes. I don't actually remember when it comes out. Let me see. Oh, it's out tomorrow. I don't have to wait that long. But I will have to read the first book before reading this. I have forgotten everything. So, our next tag is biggest disappointment. I was disappointed a lot of times this year, but I didn't have the patience to finish those disappointing books. So most of them are DNFs, and I am not going to talk about DNFs because there are a lot. I'll just talk about the ones that I finished and was still disappointed. So the first disappointing book is Strawberry Patch Pancake House by Laurie Gilmore. See, I was recommended this book by a trusted friend of mine. I trust her judgment in books, and I usually read all her recommendations. She has a good taste. So she told me this book is about a single dad, and he's a chef, and it has small town romance. She liked it, and she had sent a scene where he was um, making pancakes, and he had his sleeves up and was showing his forearms, and that scene was good. So I started the book. So this guy gets a call suddenly, um, and he gets informed that he has a daughter out of nowhere after 3 years. I don't remember how old she is. She's, I think, 3 years old, and 3 or 5 years old. I don't remember. But he gets a call suddenly, saying that he has a daughter now. I can understand why he's whiny. He just left his old world and is starting everything anew. And he just met his new daughter that he didn't know about. But still, you're whining in every chapter. That's too much, no? I could not handle that much whining. I mean, yeah, you're sad about your life, but do you have to talk about it that much? It was cozy, I'll give you that. And the daughter was really cute. I loved her. I don't remember her name, but I liked her. But the romance, there was no chemistry. I did not feel. I did not feel anything for them. I did not care. I did not. I did not care about their romance. I was only reading for the girl. And yeah, I managed to finish it. That was it. I was just done. The next disappointing read is Done and Dusted by Layla Sage. I don't really remember what this book was about. I just remember that it was very very bad. The writing was, I could not. I don't usually care about the writing that much. Like, I notice if the writing is good, but if it's bad, I don't mind that much. But this one was too bad. It felt like it skipped its editing process entirely. There were so many grammatical errors, and some sentences don't even make sense. I would try rereading them, but I'd still not understand what it meant. It was that messed up. Um, so it completely ruined my experience, and I couldn't. I was almost going to DNF this book, but I pulled through because this was the second book of the year, and I finished it. But I would not read. I mean, this was her first book, so it probably gets better, but I don't think I'll read her other books. Maybe I'll try it someday, but for now, it's I don't think it's possible. Not for me. The next tag is biggest surprise. I have to. And the first one is This Spells Love by Kate Robb. I picked this up because I thought it was a cute rom com, and I was going through a slump at that time, and I thought it would get me out of it, and it did get me out of it. I was surprised that it got me out of it. I thought it would be. Uh, I I I didn't really think that much when I picked it up actually. So this story follows Gemma, who is reeling from a bad breakup, and she meets up with her sister and her best friend, who is in love with her, and she meets up with her whimsical aunt. So they get drunk and they perform this ritual called Forget Your Ex spell, and instead of erasing her memory of that ex, she completely rewrites her life. When she wakes up the next day after that ritual, after that spell, she wakes up in a alternate reality where she never dated him, and she is now a successful business owner. But she has also never met her best friend, her guy best friend, and she misses him terribly. So she tries to make him remember who she is. The next book that surprised me is Love of My Afterlife by Christy Greenwood. This one was chaotic in the best way. Our main character, Delphi, dies in the first scene itself. I think she dies by eating a burger which has fake meat in it, and she chokes on it and dies because there was no one to save her. And she wakes up in afterlife therapy room, and and the afterlife therapist shows her a montage of her life that she lived up until now, which is very sad because she had no one. And the therapist tells her that she missed her soulmate just by a few minutes, and the universe is feeling generous, so they give her a chance to find her soulmate, that soulmate that she missed just now, and live her life that she did not get to live. But there's a catch. She only has 7 days to find that soulmate, and she does not know his name or where he lives exactly. She just knows that he's in London, and she tries to find him. It is very chaotic, and it actually gave me a lot of second-hand embarrassment, but it was worth it. Also, is that soulmate actually her soulmate? Hmm. Okay. The next tag is favorite new author, and it's obviously Ashley Poston. I think I've read a lot of her books this year, and I think she is my most read author. Wait, let me check. Yes, she is my most read author. I've read four of her books this year, and she has become my auto read author. Like, I don't care what she writes, I'll even read her grocery list. I mean, I have read books that have magical realism in it, but I have not enjoyed it that much. And I think the only other author that does magical realism that well is Sarah Hogan. Yeah, Sarah Hogan. I think my favorite genre is cozy. I love anything cozy. I love cozy fantasy, cozy romance, cozy contemporary, anything cozy. And her books are cozy, so I love them. And they are cozy, but they have chaotic energy into it as well, and they have emotional depth into it as well. And she just writes relationships so well, and I think all of her books have grief in it as well. I think she does it so nicely that it makes you feel things, and I love when a book makes me feel things, and I love her. So yeah, Ashley Poston. The next tag is newest fictional crush. I do have quite a few fictional crushes, but because this is my first video and you guys don't know me, I don't know how many people are watching, but you should know my original fictional crushes, my number one fictional crushes, and those are Jax from Once Upon a Broken Heart series, Cyrus from This Woman Kingdom, Aaron Warner from Shatter Me, and Aliza from This Woman Kingdom. I think that's it. Those are my original fictional crushes. Let's talk about the new fictional crushes now. Benji and he reads romance, and he is a ghost,
Shame! Shame!
and he is soft, and he is emotionally available, and he reads romance. Of course, he is emotionally available. He is also a romance book editor. Yeah, and he's hot. The second crush is Lucas Bloomquist from The Deep End by Ali Hazelwood. Ali Hazelwood men are perfect. And the third crush is Connor Harkness, another Ali Hazelwood man, and I love him as well. And he is an older man. He is in his mid 30s, and he is fine. He is fine. The next guy is Kai Rhodes from Caught Up by Liz Tomford. I actually just finished this book, I think 2 days ago, and I have started the next one, Play Along. It's about his Kai's brother. But yeah, Kai is a single dad. He looks like Clark Kent, and I think that's enough. And I love him. And I love his son, Max. So, yeah, he's my new fictional crush. And now I think Isaiah, his brother, is also becoming my new fictional crush. He is so sweet. Isaiah's character is introduced in Caught Up, but he is so much more than that. And he is so sweet and he's so goofy. I love him. I love goofy characters and I love grumpy characters as well. I love the range. So let's see if he also gets added in the new crush criteria. The next tag is favorite new character. I don't really have any favorite new character right now. I only have one favorite character, and that's Aliza, and she's not new, but she lives rent free in my mind. She is my queen, and I will always love her. So yeah, she is my favorite character. The next tag is the books that made me cry. I cry really easily, but this year was not the year with that many good books, so I did not cry, but I got teary eyed. And the first one is Dead Romantics by Ashley Poston. I mean, obviously you're going to cry in this book because it's the romance between a ghost and a human. It's already doomed. Uh, but it has a happy ending, but you still get the anxiety that, oh, what if they don't end up together? It's good. Then the next book that made me cry, I got teary eyed. I think I didn't cry, but that book was Caught Up by Liz Stormford. It made me feel things and it made me tear up a little bit. It has gotten dark and I had to turn on the lights, but where was I? The next tag is the book that made me happy, and that's Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales. I know, I know, I'm repeating books, but I haven't really read a lot of books this year. I've only read 33 books, and most of them are not memorable. So, Emily Wilde's Compendium of Lost Tales. That book made me happy. And the next book is Problematic Summer Romance. That also made me happy. Um, it was a very vacationy romance book, and it was very light-hearted. Banter was amazing, and the chemistry was, obviously, it's an Ali Hazelwood book, so it was amazing. I couldn't stop smiling while reading that. So, yeah, it made me happy. Okay, so now, most beautiful book that I have received or I've bought. Let me get it. Yeah, so watch me. Isn't she
Look how pink, so pretty. Pretty.
I was not actually going to buy this book, but I received it from a friend and I love it. I actually received the whole Shatter Me series from my friends um, for my birthday, but this came out recently, so it was not there in the set. And I received this as well from another friend. That's the most beautiful book that I've bought this year. And there is going to be another beautiful book, which is Every Spiral of Faith. Okay, so the last tag is, what books do you need to read by the end of this year? I have quite a lot of books that I want to read by the end of this year. This book that I want to read is Crimson Moth in the Heartless Hunter duology, and it's about witches and witch hunter. So the witch, Rule Winters, is a masked vigilante, and she gets in and she seduces this guy, Gideon Shar, who is a witch hunter. So exciting. And the third book that I want to read is Familiar by Lee Bardugo. I don't know what it's about, but it's Lee Bardugo, so I read it. And I haven't read her Ninth House book, so I want to read that as well. I've only read Six of Crows duology and her and its sequel, the I've read her Shadow and Bone series as well, and her other books, Six of Crows, and the other book. I don't remember the name of that book, but yeah, I've read that duology as well, and I have not read her new books yet, so I want to read that as well. And I also want to read Air by Sabah Tahir. I have wanted to read this book for a while now, but I recently saw that this book is continuation to her Ember in the Ashes world, and I don't remember anything from that world. So I will be rereading that, and then I'll be rereading The Air. Okay, so first video done. I can't believe I actually finished it today. I have been recording this video for a while now. I think this is my third third take in these 2 weeks. Because every time I started recording the video, I think I only got up to 3 or 4 tags, and then I had to cut it short because something or the other came up. But today I finished it. and I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you tune in for more bookish videos. I think I'll also do baking videos. I also like to bake. So yeah, and I also want to know what are your biggest disappointment, um, and your best books so far this year. So comment it down below. I would love to read them, and that's it. Bye.